Welcome everyone to my new channel. This is JAYS Joint, and here we'll be talking about everything Toronto Blue Jays. We'll be talking about the signings, where we'll be doing post games, possibly a few pre-games when I can, trade deadlines, trades, everything Blue Jays. And this is gonna be my background here. Channel name, it's called JAYS Joint. I'm probably not gonna change it unless I decide to. So without further ado, let's get straight into this first video. So for this one, we'll be talking about the Toronto Blue Jays off-season signings and trades and the player we acquired in the Rule 5 draft. I'll be making two parts to this video since I have a few on my list. We'll be talking about each of them. I'll be explaining what I think about each move. And let's get started. First player, the Toronto Blue Jays acquired Trent Thornton. This video does not include the players we already have. That's signing, arbitration, all that kind of stuff, releasing players. We're not going to include that in this video. So first off, number one, we acquired Trent Thornton, starting pitcher for Aledmys Diaz from the Houston Astros. Diaz was our shortstop last year, and Thornton was a starting pitcher for AAA Fresno Grizzlies. He had a 9-8 record with a 4.42 ERA. He pitched 24 games. He started all of them. He gave up 118 hits in 124.1 innings. He also gave up 13 home runs. His walk record is 22 strikeouts to 31 base on balls. So that was the first move we made this season. What do I think about it? So let's look at Houston first, what they got. Who's Houston's shortstop? Carlos Correa, no doubt. So for Diaz, what he does for Houston is he's gonna be a bench guy. He's a good bench guy. He sometimes may be the DH, depending on who they have this year in that position. But he's definitely not gonna be an everyday shortstop, as they have Carlos Correa, who's top notch. But then if he does get injured, I'm not really sure about Houston and if they have any utility players. Since what's his name, Gonzalez, he signed with the Twins. So if Correa does get injured, Diaz will come in as the shortstop. He can also play third, a little bit of third, second possibly. So he's around the infield, just except first. What the Blue Jays got? We got a starting pitcher who is almost ready for the majors. I'm pretty sure he's 25 or 26. So it's about time for him to come up. He's been in the minor leagues for 4 years, so I think it's time for him to get a call up. I mean, he's 25 already. He's been in the minors for 4 years. He's got some good stuff. He doesn't give up that many walks, so I think that this year, maybe the year. It depends on how the rotation stacks out. I mean, later on, I'm going to be talking about Max Shoemaker. We signed Max Shoemaker, made a trade for Clayton Richard. We got Bud Norris, who probably will be our setup man, but may be a starter. He's been a starter before. And we also signed Clay Buchholz. So that rotation right there consists of Stroman, Sanchez, Buchholz, Richard, and Shoemaker. That's 5. So there's probably not going to be any spots for youngsters like Ryan Barucki, who was chasing for a rotation spot. So that's that. Number 2, Elvis Luciano. He was acquired from the Rule 5 draft. He played in the minors. 5.5 record, 3.90 ERA. He played 13 games. Started 12. 67 innings pitched, 61 hits, 4 home runs, and 7 walks to 70 strikeouts. So that's what I'm impressed with. 70 walks to 70 strikeouts. It's pretty clear he doesn't give up a lot of walks. So his control seems pretty good. If you compare that with the other pitchers I have, he only gives up a really small amount of his Ks as walks. So I don't have a lot to speak about him. Rule 5 draft player. So let's just keep going. Oh, he's also a reliever. Third player on my list, the Blue Jays signed Eric Sogard. He last year played with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's been in MLB since 2010. He's played every year. He was a free agent, so we signed him. So about him, he had 97 at-bats. He got 13 hits, 0 home runs, 12 walks, 23 Ks, 1.134 average. So whenever you think of this guy and you look at him, and then you might think, wait, 0.134 average. Aren't the Jays supposed to be getting like good players? That's kind of the case, but so he's a second baseman. He might be able to play shortstop. So our current second baseman, who is that? Devin Travis. So for Devin Travis, he's been on some problems for a few years now. 2017, he was really on a roll for May, but then he got injured. Last year, he was pretty horrible at the start. He was really bad, but then I'm pretty sure he got something and picked something up. I'm not very sure. So I think this guy, he's gonna be a minor leaguer. But if something happens to our everyday second baseman, he may get a call up. I'm not very sure. Number 4, Matt Shoemaker. So as I was talking, this was the first real signing for the Toronto Blue Jays this year. Like the first big league player signing. So pretty good. Let's talk about him. 6 major league seasons. He's had a few injuries that affected his career. All his seasons were with the Angels. Last year, he had 2 wins, 2 losses, a 4.94 ERA. He played 7 games and only pitched 31 innings. That's because of injuries. He gave up 29 hits, 17 runs, 3 home runs, and his opponent average was 0.4244. His K to base on balls was 33 strikeouts to 10 walks. So let's not look at the strikeouts and base on balls right now. Let's first look at his stats. You don't have a lot of stats for last year in particular, since he was injured for a pretty long time. 31 innings, 29 hits. That's, for a starting pitcher, okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but then if you're going to give up just about 1 hit every inning, if that keeps going, then 1 hit every inning, not a big problem. But then 3 home runs, so that's good. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs. 17 runs, so those 29 hits, it's pretty obvious that some of those go to runs. So it's got to work on that. His opponent average is pretty low, not that bad. K to base on balls, not that bad either. So I think that this was a good signing since we really needed some starting pitcher help. J Happ traded away. Marco Estrada, free agent, don't really need him anymore. So this guy, we got all those like little minor leaguer players that are starting pitchers that are ready to come up. So you got Brian Baracki, Thomas Pannone, Sean Reid Foley, ton more guys. So he's a veteran, 32 years old. He can help out. I think it's pretty good. Number 5, the Blue Jays traded Connor Panis away to the San Diego Padres for Clayton Richard. Last year, Richard went 7-11, so 7 wins, 11 losses, 5.33 ERA, 27 games, 158.2 innings. He gave up 159 hits, 98 runs, 19 home runs. Opponent average was .263. I'm not going to talk about the strikeouts and walks yet, because that number is not very fun to see. But let's talk about the hits and his games. 27 games and 158.2 innings. I don't have a calculator right now, but for every game, I can't do math, really. Yeah, okay, so, you know what, let's just forget about math. So he clearly pitched a couple innings, so didn't stop short every game since he pitched quite a lot of innings. But then what's the problem is the hits. If you're gonna pitch 158.2 innings, that's basically 159 innings and then 159 hits. So basically he gave up a hit per inning. But then on the other hand, unlike Matt Shoemaker, not a lot of his hits committed to runs. 98 runs, 19 home runs, which is a fair amount if you pitch 158.2 innings, which is a lot of innings. 159 hits, so he's just got to work on his control. 5.33 ERA. His ERA has always been high through his entire long career. He's a veteran as well, getting old. Opponent average, it's not in the .300s, so that's good. He's got to work on his stamina. Seems good. You just got to work on trying to keep the ball playable and give up less hits. Now here, 60 walks to 108 strikeouts. 60 walks. That is a lot of walks if you get 108 strikeouts. I'm not going to say much about that number. You just got to work on his control. Pretty obvious. 108 divided by 2 is 54. And then he has more hits, walks, giving up more walks than that. So he's got to work on his accuracy. Yeah, that's for him. Number 6, the Blue Jays signed David Phelps. I just saw this one morning. It's a pretty good move for a bullpen that's has a lot of youngsters in it. The bullpen, a lot of minor league players. So the last time he's pitched was 2017. So that's because he was injured last year with Seattle. 4-5. He's a reliever. 4-5. Okay, that's not that good. 4 wins, that's okay. 5 losses, that's not so good. But then when you look at the ERA, it's 3.40. That's not that bad. To be honest, that is not a bad number. Yeah, I like that number. If you can keep it this way, he's gonna be a really good player. I don't think he's gonna be there on opening day. He's probably still injured. Yeah, so that's that. 55.2 innings, 51 hits, 23 runs, 5 home runs, and his walks to strikeouts, 26, 62. So again, with the hits, like most of the players are getting a lot of most of them are giving up a lot of hits in the amount of innings they're pitching. He's giving up less, but then 23 runs in 55.2 innings, 23 runs. That's not bad, but that's not good. I mean, for 55 innings, giving up about 20 runs will be okay. 23 runs is not that bad, but it's not that good either. So he's got to try to work on that. Just different pitches, working different pitches at the right time. Strikeouts to walks, I'm not going to say anything bad. 26 to 62, obviously 62 strikeouts. So yeah, that's fine. Good bullpen guy. He probably is going to be the man behind our setup man. But then I think that's the best spot for him. Or if that can't happen, he's going to be one of the long relievers that pitch multiple innings. You got a lot of players down in the bullpen, so looking forward to seeing that. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the first video. This is part 1. We have 6 more signings and trades to get by. So we're going to see you guys next time. This video was created using Splice. Splice is a very easy video editor. It does not cost any money, and it's very fast. So thank you, Splice. I'll continue making videos for all of you watchers, and thank you for watching. And the next one will come tomorrow, and it's gonna be our video about the part 2 of our signings. Thank you.